I think they are going to try very hard. I think if you look at the educational system, the real competition in education is homeschooling and private schooling. And the government doesn't like that. They don't like this competition. But so far, more and more people are joining it. I think they're going to have a hard time closing us all down. I think they're going to have a hard time taking our guns. I think they're going to have a hard time taking the gold away from us like they did in the 30s. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think our side is growing and it's alive and well and more determination. Some people probably are further along in their pessimism about what we can salvage than I am. But I remain, in many ways, optimistic that much good can come of this. And so no matter how hard they try to suppress us, I think it's going to be impossible to do it.
Well, you're right, and that's what you've written about and spoken about for decades. If we individually live a philosophy of liberty, it's going to outshine everything around us, our neighbors, local government, federal government, and people are going to see that success and that track record of being accurate. For 30 years, you've talked about inflation, tax, devaluation. In the campaign 3 years ago, some tried to laugh at you, but now I see editorials in major papers everywhere saying Ron Paul won't get the snub this time, and that leads me to 2012. Obviously, even if you didn't get the nomination, it would be a great educational victory to have you in those debates. When are we going to be hearing an announcement, Congressman, on whether you're going to run for president or not?
Well, it can't be too far off. I would think in a month or so I'm going to have to make a final decision. Matter of fact, I may have to make a token decision on one debate. They're inviting potential candidates to go to South Carolina in May, and I'm pretty close to saying that I will come without a commitment to what I'm going to do in filing legal papers. So we're getting awfully close, and there's just a few other things that I have to iron out personally to make my final decision. But it has to come. But none of the other major candidates have made that official announcement. I'm not quite sure.
Obama, that's all, Obama.
Yeah, Obama. He's the one that got out in front of everybody else. So I guess there aren't going to be any other candidates. Maybe the other Republicans are intimidated. Maybe they think they can't beat him now that he's a popular war president.
Well, sir, you're going to win in the intellectual battle. I mean, the great educational engagement you did 3 years ago, I would guess is going to be dwarfed. I'm a little worried about your safety. I think everybody should pray for you, also financially support you. I mean, obviously, I hope you're going to have some really good bodyguards because I believe you've got a chance to actually win, sir. And then you're going to have to publicly come out when they try to steal the nomination from you, like they threatened Reagan with if he didn't put George Herbert Walker Bush on. I mean, do you have any concerns about your safety?
Well, yeah, when I get in a car and when I get in airplanes, I mean, just normal life provides dangers to us. People urged me to be cautious in the last campaign, and I didn't change things a whole lot. You can go through life being intimidated, but I think, being a little more cautious is wise, but I don't peek around every corner.
Well, certainly you're bold and have a lot of courage. My point is, clearly the global banking establishment, if it really looks like you're going to become president, which is now in the realm of serious reality, I mean, certainly these people are known for bombing countries that don't have central banks they run. Yeah.
Did you see where they set up a central bank with the radicals with the rebels in Libya? First thing they did, we got a couple of rebels out here. We need a central bank. That isn't insane.
Well, we're almost out of time with you, Congressman. I've got a few other questions for you.
Okay, we have about 3 minutes. I think we can do them.
Okay, great. So they have rung the bell now.
Yeah.
Congressman Jesse Ventura was on here yesterday, former governor. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard his announcement that if you leave the Republican Party, he'd be happy to be your VP running mate. If you run for president, well, is it going to be as a Republican?
As of now, that's mainly what I've been thinking of, but I guess in life you should always keep all options open. But right now I'm still a Republican congressman, and we did it last time as a Republican. And there's a lot of people who get mixed messages from that because Republicans don't always stand for liberty, as you know. Parties are somewhat irrelevant to me, whether I'm an independent, Republican, or libertarian. I think there are vehicles for delivering a message. So right now I am working within the Republican Party.
Congressman, looking at the TSA, are there plans on congressional hearings? Multiple states are moving to try to bar the TSA, sticking their hands down people's pants, baking people in radiation microwaves. What are you doing to try to reverse that?
Well, one thing is that I feed a lot of information to Jason Chavez, who's the chairman of that subcommittee, and he is hot on that issue. He's a very good congressman, and he is outraged over it, as we all should be. And I think if people have examples, the bad examples of it, that always helps. You know, visuals and pictures or anything, if they can either send it to him directly or to me, I think we can make use of that as a weapon, because there will be hearings on this.
All right. In closing, building up towards an announcement to run for president, my gut tells me you're going to do it, sir, because you understand it's just too important to get the word out. What can listeners and Liberty supporters do to start getting their engines warmed up to give you the maximum support out of the gates when and if you make this announcement?
Well, you know, in a couple of weeks, I think it's April 19th, I have another little book coming out. That might be a time for an explosion of interest. And the book does not make money for me. It goes into my foundation. So, but it's a message. It's a book talking about 50 issues dealing with, and it's called Liberty Defined. And coinciding that with an announcement could be interesting, even though those plans have not been made to do such. But it's something that people could be looking at. Well,
the day you announce, we're going to try to set up a money bomb, so and we'll focus people over towards the Campaign for Liberty when that happens.
Well, I have to think about that. It might have to be a political side. Campaign for Liberty is not political, so you can't do. But you can do something.
That would be the congressional coffers. Then, well, sir, thank you so much for spending time with us. Go to your vote, and God bless you, and Godspeed.
Thank you.
All right, there goes Congressman Ron Paul. We went a little bit into that break there. And, John, you think we should just fire a network break here in 15 seconds, play the last 2 minutes, or is that impossible? Yeah, well, you want to go ahead and fire the break, and we'll come back in 2 minutes? All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Infowars.com.
Going solar for cheap is as easy as 1, 2, 3. If you want to go solar but thought the setup costs were too high, now you can build your own solar panels for less than $200. Don't laugh. We've sold over 45,000 solar do-it-yourself kits. Watch our introduction video at 123cheapsolarvideo.com. The video is free, but it won't last long. Save money on electric bills and get off the grid. Go to 123cheapsolarvideo.com right now. Our website again is 123cheapsolarvideo.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
If you suffer from poor sleep, you need MyPillow. Guaranteed to be the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Using a patented fill, MyPillow adjusts to your exact individual needs by gently supporting your head, shoulders, and neck. MyPillow has a natural built-in cooling effect, keeping your cervical nerves cool, giving you the best sleep of your life. MyPillow will never go flat and relieves snoring, migraines, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, and many other disorders. It's antimicrobial, non-allergenic, dust mite resistant, and best of all, machine washable and dryable. MyPillow is made in the USA, has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Order today at MyPillow.com or call 952-442-6199. That's 952-442-6199. Mention coupon code GCN and receive 20% off your order. What do you have to lose except poor sleep? MyPillow.com, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own, guaranteed.
Coming out of the break, I want to play a short clip of Jesse Ventura last night with Piers Corbett on CNN. And if you watch the full clip, because I've seen the full interview, actually listened to it in my car driving home last night at about 10 on XM, Jesse just savaged him with info after, but they cut it off to make it look like Ventura was speechless. So I want to go over some of the real evidence of 9/11 being an inside job. But before we do that, I just want to go back to the Ron Paul live interview that we just did. Think about him in Congress 16 years ago not getting one co-sponsor to audit the Fed. Last year they passed it in the House. The Senate defeated it procedurally and gutted it. Think about Ron Paul being laughed at for talking about dollar devaluation 3 years ago. Now he's not being laughed at. He is ubiquitous across TV, radio, and everybody I talk to, even liberals, like what he has to say, and conservatives love him. He really could become president, but the media, even when he won the straw poll 2 years in a row, would then talk about every other candidate but him. In newscasts, they talk about second, third, fourth place, but not tell you who won the Kentucky Derby of Republican straw polls, with the real Republican leadership there giving him standing ovations. Instead, they go over with a microphone to one small crowd in a staged event and have them boo, and then put that on the news. They couldn't pull it off this year, so they played old video from 2009, the year before. So they know what they're doing. They're engaging in deception, and they're going to push this idea that Ron Paul can't win. Now, listen. We got to go with the 9th and 10th Amendment. We got to take our states back, our school boards, our city councils, our county commissioners, our town councils. That's where you come in. That's where I come in, all of us together who are on the same team wanting freedom for our children and ourselves and our future. But the war is now. The fight for freedom's here. Everything we've talked about is now unfolding. The world government's openly being announced as the solution. So people that still try to laugh about world government, they're idiots. Just move on, okay? They're not living in reality. They basically are engaged in delusions. They want to be conned. Cognitive dissonance. They're in their little comfort bubble, and they have this normalcy prejudice where I heard Glenn Beck talking about something today that I actually talk about a lot myself, and it's true about how people on board the Titanic just said, we're going back to our rooms. There's no way the ship's going to sink. Or people on 9/11 going back to turn their computer off while the towers were burning, or going to turn the lights off and then never getting out. They just can't believe something bad's happening, so they live in total denial. It's time to get out of that denial. It's time to really historically and geopolitically get informed. And if you're not informed about this, you're a new listener, you're smart, you know all about baseball scores or all about your favorite TV shows. Stop being experts in that. Become experts in reality. Live in reality. Be involved. And understand that we're in a fight for our lives right now. The globalists have never been weaker, but they've never been stronger. They're rolling forward with their programs, and they're weak if we simply point out the crimes they've committed and the different things that they've done. It's that simple. Our credibility is rising. Their credibility is dropping. They know that. They're scared. They're concerned. They're going to try to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. We've got to get in there. And it doesn't mean you've got to save the world by yourself, but spreading the word about Ron Paul, spreading the word about our free podcast or the local AM and FM stations you're listening to, spreading the word about my books, my videos, the videos that are online, prisonplanet.tv. Pick the talk show hosts, the authors, the statesmen like Ron Paul who have a track record of accurate info and who are winners in the fight for liberty. And understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. We're not going to defeat the New World Order in a day. It is a process of having the moral high ground, having the information, and taking action and realizing that it's your destiny to make a choice. It's your destiny that you have free will. And to decide if you're going to step up to the plate and be part of the solution and be on the field in this historical fight against the collectivist, against the mega rich that use big government to consolidate wealth and domesticate the population. As we go into this depression, the hordes of people on government payrolls or government contracts or welfare, and that's the defense contractor people and the welfare queens, all of them, the teachers, the banksters, they don't see it as a choice. This is their livelihood. Their pensions have already been stolen. And the globalists are going to sick them on what's left of America, blaming liberty and freedom for what's happened when it's the opposite. No one can deny we're losing freedom. No one can deny the fruits of this tyranny are extremely painful and destructive. And so now is the time to shout from the rooftops, the church tops, the mountaintops, the hilltops.